Ladies, welcome to another episode of the Girls Chat Podcast. And I will be reading our table topics for today. Okay, this is cool. It's not juicy, but it's cool. What's the most beautiful place you've ever seen?
That's such a good one.
Yeah. So who wants to start? The flight attendant wants to start?
I think the most beautiful place I've ever seen is Portugal specifically. I don't know, it's just so different there. Like the way that all the buildings are like right next to each other, how like it just looks so old, like there's so much history. That was definitely hands down. I'd go back before I visit like another new country. I would definitely go back there.
That's cool. Who's next?
I'll say Haiti. So the mountains there are beautiful. The water is beautiful. So I'm gonna say my country. Haiti chérie.
What does that mean?
Haiti, baby.
No, I'm learning. I'm trying to learn.
Okay,
Haiti, baby. That's so funny when me and Rob's dad used to talk shit about Rob, about how he don't know nothing about Haitian. We be talking back about him in Creole. He would get so frustrated.
Because he don't know a damn thing.
That's really wild. Casey, you're gonna say something?
I have to go with Jamaica. I've only been to like 2 places, so Jamaica and the United States here. So
You're not gonna say Jersey? You're not gonna say
not
Jersey?
Pretty. Ain't shit pretty about Jersey.
Dirty Jersey.
Dirty Jersey. Dang you.
I mean, I would love to stick with the theme and say like one of my homelands, which is Puerto Rico, which I mean was beautiful. I haven't been to Haiti. But I think the prettiest would have to be Santorini. That was like,
yeah,
like jaw-droppingly beautiful. Like the sunset over the mountains. Like it was. I literally felt like I was in a movie. Like it's the most pretty, like beautiful thing.
Disney movie.
And I guess that leaves me. I'm gonna have to say I loved Costa Rica. I just loved how it looked, and our Airbnb was off the water, so it just looked amazing. I loved Costa, so that'll probably be my favorite.
Those monkeys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked
Definitely
Costa Rica too because of the black sand, and like that's so different from where we are here. And then just thinking about when you look at it, you literally think it's dirt because it's black, but then when you put your feet on it and it's so soft and it's like, yeah, Costa Rica was beautiful. And the fact that, like you said, the monkeys, it's not like, I mean, we did go somewhere to see the monkeys, but the monkeys were literally at our front door, and it just tells you like how tropical and like just beautiful that was. It was gorgeous. But that actually wasn't the place I was thinking about saying, even though that is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. I was actually thinking about DC. I went to DC during the summer or like spring, and it was just like, I don't know, the perfect time. The weather was perfect, and it's so green. Like it is so green, and the mountains and everything were just green, and it was really beautiful. And like the buildings there just make you think about like American history, you know, and like, you know, like fuck America or whatever, because America is not really for us. But like also America is we are really the indigenous people. Like we built America, you know? And so to really look at all those buildings and, you know, just thinking about government, I don't even know, like, you know, it's not even that I care about government or politics, but just like you think about middle school and you think about the White House and where these buildings, you know, it was just, that was just being an American, that was just like a beautiful kind of like jaw-dropping. It just felt like really historical to be there. So like that was cool. But I guess talking about DC, that makes you think about, you know, the big election that is coming up. I feel like this election is, I mean, I feel like we say this about every election. Like, it's like, oh, this is like vote or die. Like, this is your life. But for some reason, it really feels like this one, to a lot of people, because not to everybody, not really to me, but it feels like this is like literally do or die. Like, it's like it's either the right side or death. Like, that's it. What do y'all think about voting?
I think with the oh, I was gonna say, I think to keep the momentum going. I know a lot of people talk about choosing the lesser evil and all that stuff, but I think if we really want to see some changes, especially with how things have been going this year, you know, with Black Lives Matter and police brutality, all that stuff. So all those changes that we are, you know, making right now, you know, keeping that momentum going, I think, you know, will be a plus for us, you know, Black people, and making change and where we want to see it.
So you believe that that means that you should vote for one of those people?
I do.
I mean, I'm gonna agree with Jeannie. I definitely am going to vote this year. Like you said, it's like the lesser of two evils or whatnot, but I still think that even a small step in the right direction is still a small step in the right direction, or even if it may not be the right direction, it's still not the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I kind of just feel like, first off, it's kind of embarrassing. Me and Rob were in a cab in Paris, and you know, we get in the back of this cab, and this guy driving the cab is like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" You know, and we tell him like America, and he's laughing, laughing. He's like, "Trump, Trump, Trump." He's like pointing at us, laughing in the back. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." Like, you know, I don't know. It's just laughable and embarrassing or whatnot. But when it comes to this election, I'm super, super interested to see the way that it goes. Like kind of what Jeannie was saying with Black Lives Matter and such, and just like the whole like millennial younger, you know, movement. I was kind of reading up on it, and between the last election and now, like there's like 15 or 17 million people who have turned, you know, who are eligible to vote, like within our age bracket and stuff. So I'm kind of just interested to see the statistics on that, because I want to know how much. I just want to know how much people are really like backing up what they like, you know, say out loud, or what they tweet, or what they. I want to see what our generation could really make shape. That's it.
Go vote. That's all I have to say. I do think it's important. I feel like a lot of people fought for the rights for us to even be able to do that. So yeah, I just, you know, take pride in that alone, and that just makes me want to vote. And then whatever isn't a lot, but whatever we can do to get that man out of office, I just feel like we got to do it.
And I agree. And I also think that like community voting and voting for specific things in neighborhoods and stuff like that may change like the bigger thing. So I feel like that's where you start to make changes. So that's how I feel. I'm a vote.
I need to do better in that department, like when it comes to like more local stuff. And I was telling my dad, me and my dad were kind of talking about that, and I was telling him how I want to do better. So now he'll like shoot me different articles and stuff here and there. So I'm trying. I'm not a politician or by any means, you know, so I'm realizing how important I have already realized how important it is, but now that I'm growing up and, you know, I'm just as we get older, find out all these different things, you know, whether it is looking into purchasing homes, businesses, all that different stuff, like everything is tied into each other, and it really starts locally. So I'm gonna focus a lot more on locally, because that's the only way you got to build out.
Yeah. I just want to chime in on the local, like so my opinion on voting is literally like completely opposite of mostly everyone in here. I just feel like we said, of voting of the lesser evil. It's like, why would we vote for any evil? I feel that we have, like you said, our ancestors have fought for us to get to this point and for us to be able to vote. And the fact that we even had to fight to be able to do that is crazy. The fact that that's something that we even had to do is wild. But they fought, they got that, and we're still having to remind people that Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we did all that, and it's been how many years now since America has been born? How many years now since Black people have been able to vote that has taken place, and we're still in a really not good predicament. We're still fighting for the same shit our ancestors were fighting for, just different. It's just in a different way. And so I just feel like, why am I going to invest my time into voting into a system that was never built to even work for me? It was not created for us to succeed. And we're voting in, we're just voting into that system. So we're fighting for change, and we're saying that we need to make this change, but then we're just doing the same thing and voting for the same people, because these politicians are filthy, right? And then also, when I've looked at other research, I guess the internet shows you both sides of everything, right? Like, the internet shows you everything. But when I've looked into research into organizations like Black Lives Matter, I've seen that they've been sponsored by anti-Black organizations that have been using Black Lives Matter to infiltrate the Black family, the Black man, the Black person, and to really figure out what our struggles are, so that they can capitalize off that, and so they can do things to keep us in those positions. And so reading into some of that and hearing some people talk about that, I have stopped supporting Black Lives Matter. Now, the statement Black Lives Matter, yes, that is like, yes, but what's behind that? Just think about how much money Black Lives Matter is making now. You know what I'm saying? Black Lives Matter is on the back of these NBA jerseys, is on the back of it's a business, and businesses aren't for us. They're not, corporations aren't on our side, because
which is why
they feed into America, into the United States corporation, which is a real thing too. But there's so much, even under that, these men, these people, the Democrats, a lot of them are disgusting. And when this whole sex trafficking, Epstein stuff happened, the Democratic Party as a whole, a lot of them are the ones who are the main culprits of it, including Joe Biden. So it's like, how can I vote for him? And then also, Black people tend to, and I'm trying not to even say Black people, because I'm learning that also that is incorrect. We are indigenous people, but Black people, we say we're Democrats, but it's like, because I feel like we say we're Democrats because that's what we've been taught, and that's what we know, and that's what your mom was, and that's what your dad is, and that's, and so that's what you are. But when I looked further into it, Black people were the original Republicans. And when I look into some of the Republican things, it's a lot of stuff that, I can't agree with. I mean, I can agree with either or. That's why when I was voting, I was neither Democrat nor Republican. But I don't know. There's just so many negatives to it that I just cannot see myself. I cannot see myself fighting for indigenous people and voting into the same system for the same people that have been hurting indigenous people the entire time. That's just.
So you don't think by not voting that you may be moving in the same direction, like by not voting and all the people who may have that, like, you know, the same mentality as you, not calling it right or wrong, but you don't think that that could potentially work against us in the end game of change? I mean, right now we're in 2020, but I'm gonna have grandkids, you know what I mean? So even if it's in the long run, I don't know. I think that it's worth it to me because, you know, you said like you don't want to invest your time, and I get it. Maybe you don't want to go stand in line for 2 or 3 hours to vote or whatever, but you can still get your ballot mailed in, and, you know, do a little. It really doesn't necessarily take.
Right. No, not time. I mean, time is the word, but energy. Like, I don't want to give into the system that has constantly hurt me. So when I think about like what you're saying, I go back to the same thing that I said in the beginning with like my parents fought for this, my grandparents fought for this, my great-great-grandparents, my great-great-great, all those people fought for this, and here I am. You know what I'm saying? And we're saying like, oh, let's think about the future. But when I think, I mean, segregation was bad, right? But segregation was bad because we weren't allowed to do certain things, which is crazy. But the black business was everything. You had no choice but to have a black doctor, have a black lawyer, have a black teacher, have a black pharmacist, you know, all of that. And so the dollar stayed in the black community. And now that we fought so hard to integrate the black, I don't know if y'all have seen that, but the black dollar only runs like 6 minutes in the black community, like 6 minutes. These Chinese communities have it for 14 days, 16 days. For us, it's 6 minutes. And it's like, so when I think about it, you know, that worked. That seemed to be what worked when we fought for our own people, when we had our own politicians. And so that's when I was saying, that's what I meant to track back to, I forgot, is the local voting. I think that is, if you're going to vote at all, I think that is where it's the most important, with the people who live in your community. You know what I'm saying? Because Joe Biden, who the fuck knows where, I mean, I'm sure people know where the fuck he actually lives, but like, he don't live here. He don't live in Miramar. He don't live in Pembroke Pines. He don't know what Alexis needs in Pembroke Pines. Like, he doesn't know that, you know? And so that's why I think that the local voting, that's super important. And I mean, like, local, you know, your cities, your, you know, that, not your governor, because once again, Florida is fucking huge. They don't know what the hell you need, you know? But your local government, they know you. They're really out. And if you're really into it, they're really out in your neighborhoods, and they're really, you know, those are your commissioners. Those are the people who are really making the changes. And so we're voting for these presidents, and the presidents ain't doing nothing for the cities. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not.
But there's more to just Republican Democrat. Like, I know that's all that we talked about. So even if that's your thoughts, like, okay, I don't believe in.
So isn't that a problem too? Doesn't that see that that's a problem too? How come only Republicans and Democrats are the only ones who ever get to make it? Like, that's a problem. And we all sit here and we talk and we believe in what those most of us probably believe in what the younger people, the people who are in those other parties are saying, more than we believe in what these people are saying. But it's because of the money. That's why they have the money, and that shows you right there that it's not a fair race. Like, that's not fair already.
I mean, I understand. I definitely understand that. I think, you know, it goes like Robin said, it goes way past beyond just us. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's taking 3,000, 4,000 years for something to happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it just helps, you know, move forward in the right direction. So, okay, it took us 2,000 years to get to here. All right, it may take another 1,000 years to get somewhere else. And so I definitely agree with the local voting and stuff like that. But you know, even as far as like the black dollar, as you can see, like, this year, at least from what I've seen with my following and the people that I follow, things like that, the Black people are investing more in Black businesses. Black people are, making more money, and they're starting a lot more businesses. So, it's just keeping that going, and keeping our dollars in that community. A lot more people are doing that now. So just, whatever little contribution that you can make to move forward, just do that, even if you don't believe in voting. But
I definitely, think that Black people are, like on an incline, like we coming on up, I know that I have been making a super, super conscious effort to spend my money in the Black community. And that is for like whatever I need. I need some new underwear, and I was Googling like back on underwear, you know what I mean? Just because I think that it's just important to be conscious of it, and I think a lot of people our age and around us and close to us are doing the same thing. Shit, like a lot of our friends and stuff are starting businesses, have started businesses like this quarantine, and we don't even necessarily need some of these things, and it's a quarantine right now, so everybody is like, paying attention to their bank accounts, but we're still making a very conscious effort to support our friends like businesses and like pour life into each other and support each other. And I think that everything just starts from little things like that, and in the end game be something. So like maybe I may not make something necessarily better for me, but maybe that was the same way Martin Luther King felt, Rosa Parks, I don't know, Malcolm X, all that shit. Like maybe they felt those same ways. Maybe they didn't feel like what I'm doing right now is gonna make change in this lifetime, but now people, are getting these people tatted on them, and they mean so much, and people are defending this to the point where they are slapping, white people in the mouth and stuff when they feel disrespected, when they feel like their culture in a whole is disrespected. We are in a super like broken place right now, and it's really only up from here. Like that's the way that I see it, because people
Like,
are
and
conscious and aware, and
I'm not disagreeing with anything y'all are saying. Everything y'all are saying is A1, like 1000%. Support indigenous people, melanated people, like give your money there. And I do believe that we are all making that conscious decision. But what I'm saying is voting, I don't believe that voting for the president is where we're going to see that change. I believe that the things that y'all are saying about doing locally and in your community, and I think that is what is making the change. I think that Donald Trump, like I said, Donald Trump ain't supporting the Black businesses that you giving your money to. That's not where that money is actually going. Your money is going there. So you are what's important, not them people that are up there. They're not helping you. I just feel that like we can only help ourselves. I just feel like at this point, non-melanated people, like non-Black people, they cannot help us. Like they don't understand this. They have no clue what it feels like, and we keep counting on them to help us because they're the ones in the power, but we're really the majority. You know what I'm saying? If the people really, those politicians are in the like top 10-15%, like we are the majority. If we stand up and do our shit, they would be irrelevant. Like we keep giving them the power that they don't deserve.
I feel like they can't help us, but they can definitely hurt us. And I think that's what goes back to what I was saying about we just have to get that man out of office. It's because of the fact that like, no, obviously they couldn't care less about us. However, if I'm looking at Biden versus Trump, I'm damn sure gonna think he's gonna hurt us less. I don't think he's gonna help us more, but hurt us less. than Trump. And so that's where I think that, like, of course, it starts in your own community. It starts, you know, at home. 100% agree with everything you guys are saying. I don't know. I just don't think
This
that
is our
not
system.
voting, huh?
What?
Like, this is our system. Like we
Right.
like, in a sense, we have to play into it.
But we should, no, we don't. That's the problem, is no, we don't. Is that we need to build our own. We have to actually, like, for real, rebel against the system the way we're saying we're going to rebel against the system. We can't keep rebelling against the system and then voting into the system. We're literally voting the same people in. And then when we talk about Trump, right? Like, yes, I think they're all racist, honestly. I think they're all racist. But, you know, when I think about, like, money and things that have actually benefited me, Trump has benefited me in his years of working here. I've made the most money that I've ever made from working while Trump was in office, to be 100% honest. And so, and when I talk to other people, my dad is a big person to talk to, because my dad is very pro-Black. I mean, my dad grew up during segregation, so you can only imagine how he feels about it all. And my dad is pro-Trump, because my dad said he never seen his money move the way it moved when Trump was in office. And if we think about when, like I said, it's about what you're actually doing for me, and Trump is the one who did it. So, and I don't know.
But okay, go ahead.
Age, I know a lot of people our age with that same mentality, and that is why I am super interested to see, like, the way that our generation votes, because like I said, just, I don't know, it's gonna be really, really, I know just about maybe even a little more than half of the people that I've spoken to have said that same exact thing. And, you know, I respect that, I guess. If that's, like, the way that you feel, you know, I'm never going to judge, I guess, my friends on.
No, me either. And what I'll say is I feel the money part of it, but, like, what about the other side of life? You know, because there's people that are less fortunate. There are people that may not have it the same way we have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is he helping?
Is that, like, different? Is it different from when anybody else was president, though? Is it really different from when anybody else was president?
Obama had Obamacare, and, like, when he came in office, he stopped that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and insurance and just different other types of things that are helping, like, minorities and the poor. You know what I'm saying? So, like, not.
And I've heard that Obamacare has hurt people too, like, you know what I'm saying, like, the same way Obamacare has helped people, I've heard that it's also really hurt people and not done good for people.
But I think that it's helped more people than it has hurt, in a sense. So, for sure.
I don't know.
Voting,
I don't know. I don't want to just base everything off money. I just want to base everything off, like, the greater good for everything, for everyone, not just money or not just this, like, the better for everybody in general.
I agree.
And I don't know what that's going to take, and I don't know what it's going to take for that to happen, but I don't want to base it on, oh, well, Trump's helped me make money, or, well, you know,
all
Obama
that money,
did this. But
all that
want
money
all
he gave us,
we're
going to pay back.
Yeah.
So it's just going to hit us different. Like, it feels good and it looks good now.
I'm definitely not talking about no stimulus check or nothing. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about, you know, when people are investing in the stocks and the numbers don't lie. You know, it clearly shows that he really did help our economy, you know, and until Corona came. Honestly, Corona came and really fucked everything up, for real. Like, for real. But go ahead.
Go continue. I also heard that, like, you know, because, you know, Obama had to deal with all of Bush's shit, and, you know, like, Obama was helping better our country. So, like, is he helping better, or is he getting, like, the better from, like, Obama, you know, helping? And I'm not like, oh my God, Obama did this, but I'm just asking, like, is he getting the better because Obama tried to make that happen? Yeah, he's reaping the benefits of him, or is he, like, doing that on his own? You get what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's a little bit of both, because we all know that Trump has been he'll sign off on whatever he feels off rip. You know what I'm saying? And some of the things that he just signed off on.
He signed off on.
Huh? No,
he signed off on my other $1,200. So,
but you know something that Trump did do is this whole, like, sex trafficking thing behind the scenes. Trump had a lot to do with why these people are being brought to the forefront. Now, is it for good reasons? Probably not. It's probably because he wanted to snitch before he got caught up in it. But he did do that. But then once again, why the fuck am I voting for him or Joe Biden when I know that they're caught up in these things? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I voting for these? I can't do it. Like, I can't do it. And the more that I do, and that's the like crazy part about information and the internet, right? Is that like, if I search for what I'm looking for, I'm going to find it. And if you search for what you're looking for, you're going to find it. So then it's like, how the hell do we actually know
what's really going
what is
on?
what? Like, how do we know
There's
for real?
not. Yeah, there's a conspiracy behind everything. There's a negative spin to every story. Like, that's where kind of your own intuition kind of comes in. I mean, at the end of the day, you know what's wrong and you got to do what's best for you. Like, so you really don't want to vote. That's totally, like, that's how
Yeah, if that's how you feel, then
vote.
that's your opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of voting for our lives. It feels like every 4 years. Like, that's literally always the focus of every single, well, at least since since all of us have been able to vote, that's been the theme of every single.
Yeah, because we voted at 18, right?
At 18. So last time we were going through this was 08 when Obama was elected. It's like vote or die, vote or die. Now it's back. Now it's vote for your life. Like, how many times are we going to vote for our lives or we're going to die? Like,
and then when you voted for Obama, how do you feel? Where's your life now?
that was also my first time voting. So
yeah, we were still young at that point. So I remember.
You voted a second time, though.
You're right.
We got to vote a second
term.
Obama's still my president.
And even at that point,
I can still say we were still a little younger.
When I voted my second term, my parents were still paying my bills. Like,
yeah, we were still young.
But that's what else I'm saying, though, is that we voted because, and we voted for Obama specifically because he was going to be our first Black president, and we had, most of us, let me not say most of us, I had no clue anything other than that.
Me neither.
Period. He was Democratic and he was Black, so I voted for him.
Well, yeah, and also because my parents told me to vote for him, right? And you know, in alone, when we were talking about unlearning, I definitely said that, you know, unlearning certain things from them. But at that time, me voting for Obama benefited me because it benefited my parents. You know what I'm saying? So in the end, I was still, however, benefited them at that moment in time. I don't know. I have a bottle of Ciroc freaking peach to my head at FAU, you know what I mean? But that's not the point. I was doing something good for me essentially because it was good for them and whatever they had going on. So now as I am getting older and I have my money moving around in different places and I'm learning all these different things and just, you know, growing into a young adult trying to figure this shit like out. I'm not saying that like I would never vote for a Republican or I would never vote for what I'm saying that right now I'm paying the fuck attention because it matters. And I'm not gonna stop paying attention or because it just matters. Like you said, definitely locally it starts there and I'm paying attention. But ultimately that locally is going to, you know, move out and out and out and out. And then we'll reap the benefits then.
I'm not gonna lie, this was the first year that I ever actually paid attention.
There's nothing wrong with that. Huh?
Because the last time we voted was 4 years ago, and like we were younger still in a sense, so we really didn't pay attention to it. Now we're paying attention because it's affecting us. We're older, we have homes, we have like, you know, it's just different things that we're doing right now in our lives as adults, as in our late 20s, or 30s, you know, different.
I don't know who that is, which I'm still 29.
Yeah, I'm still 29. This shit don't count.
I'm 29 till April.
Well, all of this shit honestly honestly stresses me out. Like it's too much for me. And
Nothing.
yeah. And like the more, like I said, the more I look into what I look into, it's just all negative from those people up there. And so I just have to literally like detach from all of that. And like we said before, I have to do it like feels good for me and what actually is like making my soul smile. So I have to take a lot of just time and breathing, and like just self-care is so important. You gotta take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all have anything like specific that y'all do for self-care?
Listen,
I do.
I sure do.
I don't even know. My life is crazy. Y'all start.
Mine be up and down sometimes, and I don't know if we talked about this before, but whatever. Self-care is so important that I have implemented it into every single day for myself. And as soon as my day begins is when I get my self-care in, because I wake up and I make a very conscious effort not to check my phone for at least the first 45 minutes to an hour of me waking up. I wake up, I stretch, I meditate, I journal, I scribble in my planner. I may or may not watch like a little video on YouTube, like a motivational little something. And that is so important to me that I have decided when I get back to work, that is not something I'm willing to compromise. I will lose out on sleep if I have to, as far as waking up, even if it's 30 minutes early, to fit that in. Because when I tell you, it makes such a difference throughout my day. The other day, I'm really proud of this. I was sitting on this beanbag, and Sydney walked by and he was like, "You're sitting so upright. And I wasn't even thinking about it. And it's just because that's how I sit every morning when I meditate. And it was just it felt so good, because when I thought about it, and even throughout my day, I'm like, oh, relax your shoulders. I'm like, ooh, already relaxed. So, so important. And I love it. And it's underrated AF.
Self-care looks like so many different things for me. Sometimes it's not getting out my bed. I will not leave my room all day, which
Ooh,
is
that's me, girl.
People are like, how do you do that? It's fucking easy. Trust me.
It's capable.
Other days it's skincare and do a mask, and then other days it's putting all my errands off into one day, and then having just to ride to E1, and then my music's blasting, the windows is open. So that shit's so much fun. I love self-care, and if you don't do it, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I definitely this even before quarantine, I think I made a conscious effort, because that was my word for this year, was conscious. And I've made a really big effort, I think, in the past 2 years of my life, to just do things that makes you feel good. Sometimes it's just sitting in absolute silence. Sometimes I ride to work, no music, and I don't even realize it until I get to work, oh shit, I didn't even turn the music on. Sometimes I talk to God in my car, have a conversation where it sounds like I'm talking to myself. My nighttime routine is very sacred to me. I after I come home from work out, cook dinner, but then huh?
Play
my track.
Play your track.
Play my track. Seriously, I light a candle when I go to the shower. Don't play with me. Lighting a candle, playing music, and just being in the shower for 20 minutes is self-care for me, because I just sometimes even coming home and sitting on the toilet and not actually doing the number 2, just sitting there for 20 minutes.
Hold up. Do you have to do it, or are you done doing it? Okay.
No, sometimes I just pee and I'll just sit there.
You lift the seat up, or
we don't.
Sorry.
We don't.
Girl,
number 2. I'm just saying, for someone to think, for someone to think that. So it's there's just so many different things. There's complete silence. Sometimes it involves music. Sometimes, self-care is being around y'all, my friends, my family,
right?
just laughing, getting drunk, just just that there's many different forms, but my nighttime routine is actually my favorite routine of the day.
My morning for me.
I wish I had complete silence sometimes, but I never do. So I don't know what my self-care is. All I know is that in times of need, I just blast me some gospel and I keep it pushing. And that's really it. Like,
I mean, but
my days.
Brittany, you stay with your nails done.
Your hair's always done.
But honestly, during quarantine, I let my.
Me too.
I just feel like that's kind of like I don't want to say a necessity.
Yeah, you know what? Somebody
like
actually,
I don't think my nails are self-care. I think that's something that I want and I need. Like,
it's
it's maintenance.
But it's a mental thing, though.
Because no. But
for me, it's self-care.
No, it's not, because I hate sitting in the nail salon. I hate being there. So it's not self-care for me.
Your nails done.
I like how they look afterwards, but I don't want to sit in that damn salon for an hour and a half.
Now you just said, but
I don't like that.
It's all about perspective, right? Now you just said, like, I never get a second to myself because the kids, you know, you have a lot going on, so you never get a second to yourself. But at the same time, you're saying, like, I hate sitting in the nail salon, as opposed to, like, and you love the end result of your nails done. Maybe if you just shifted your perspective to, ooh, I get to sit here.
I put my headphones in at the nail salon, they still talk to me. That's not a peace and quiet for me. I'm very sorry.
Because you answer, I'm not talking back.
I have my headphones in. Like, what am I supposed to ignore people? I be feeling bad. The nail lady want to talk to me about her daughter that doesn't listen to her, so I be giving her
your perspective. And she self-care. Like he said, she's sitting on a toilet, nothing, and it's just because you're consciously making it self-care. Like, I used to wear mask and face mask all the time, but once I started, like, taking pride in it, it just gave me a different feeling.
Right. That's what I was gonna say, though. I think that
I just never have peace and quiet. Like, I am never to myself. Even being at the nail salon, I'm around people. I'm never to myself ever. So, like, that's not, like, sometimes I be wanting to be alone as fuck. But I'm never alone.
Rent a hotel room and
tell
nobody can come.
I'm never alone.
As your alone
time. And then when I do rent a hotel room, Annalise and Kobe, like, you're not spending time with me. Like, you're off. Like, because I do be working at night and I'm not home all the time. You know, so, like, and I feel bad for not being with them. So it's just a lot. Like, that's why I said I just blast some music and I keep gospel and I keep it going.
But I think that, like, ultimately self-care is like that, right? It's it's whatever you decide is your self-care. Like, no one can tell you what is your self-care. However, I do think that if, like Robin said, you make the conscious decision to say this is my self-care, then it will boost that. So like
maybe I'll do that next time.
Like Casey said, you don't get alone time, but like your drive to work, like that used to be my self-care. Like when I drive to work, because I don't feel like I got alone time either, right? Like I live with my partner, so I feel that, like, I live with my partner and then I go to work and that's where I spend my time. So I go to work and I come home and my partner's right there at home, you know? So I don't get alone time, but like that drive to work, I used to make it my conscious, you know, playing my music, and that's what it is, and I feel good and I feel great. When I got to work, that shit was fucking crushed. Do not get me wrong. My high came all the way the fuck down when I got to work, but I had that moment, and that moment felt good, and that is like, that was good for my heart. So, you know, but like, oh, and in your self-care, you have to, like I said, recognize that it's your self-care. You can't feel anybody else's feelings because it's about you. Like, and you have to really recognize and understand that it is about you. So you know how much time you spend with those kids, like, you know that. And at the end of the day, they are kids. They're gonna say those things. You know, shit, when I hang up the phone with y'all, when I leave y'all, I fucking miss y'all too. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't have to ultimately verbalize that off rip and tell you that, and y'all don't feel real bad when I say I miss y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing what you have to do. I
be feeling real life bad. Sorry. I do.
Be feeling bad, like when one of us can't make it and it's like, don't have too much fun without me. I'm like, oh,
I hate that. I hate that. And I promise, I was listening, and I wish I could remember the podcast that I was listening to, and it had talked about just like how much pressure you put on, like how much when you're single, how much pressure you can like mistakenly put on your friends, because it's like, hi, I'm bored. It's Friday night. Like, where the girls at?
Yeah.
But y'all may be out on a damn date, and I may feel a type of way about that. You know, me and Britt recently had a conversation. I was just like, I'm done asking to go on vacation. Like because I get so sad when it doesn't work out that I'm not putting myself through that like anymore. And it's not a bad like or a thing against nobody or anything. I just think like that is super whack that we can't get on vacation. And
what I say about vacation is that you need to fully just plan it out and then just put it in there, because like we always like, oh, can we go on vacation? Can we go? And nobody does. Like, we need to like have a full planned out vacation, and it's like, boom, take your days off, request that time, put the kids to the babysitter, and
just trying to figure out dates. Like, I was really trying to get specific.
just I think that what we need is like dates far enough in advance that somebody just needs to plan the whole vacation far enough in advance that people can request time off, find babysitters, and just it has to be planned. And also we have to start putting deposits and making money towards it. Once you put your money in it, you're going to be invested in it. And so we got to start putting money towards it, and then we gonna go.
Just have a non-refundable deposit. That way can't nobody back out.
Yes.
True. Mexico with Cave for one night because I couldn't get there. I was like, oh, I can't get that back. I'm coming anyway.
All right. Casey, you have our text for guess who sent that text.
Wait, Cave, did you do self-care?
No, I can go do it. It's quick. I don't know. I do self-care like throughout the day. Like literally, I mean, like Sneak said, like from when I wake up, I make it a point, and it's actually been a really big help. I just write something I'm grateful for. Sometimes it's 3 things, sometimes it's 1. Like, I don't think too much or put too much pressure on myself to do it, but the fact that I even like write anything down helps a lot. And then like throughout my day, I'm drinking tea. Like I'm constantly like, and now working from home, like I have a mask on my face every other day. Like I'm very indulgent with the little things. And I think that just like mentally puts me in a good space. Me and KJ, like,
mask on your face. Like,
we'll meditate, huh?
You said you have a mask on your face every other day. I'm like, if you working from home, why do you need like a mask? But you don't mean a mask.
No.
You meant like a face mask, girl.
Oh. Let's go. Yo, I wanted to also add as self-care, masturbation. Masturbation is.
Can we do show and tell? Because you know what I got in that drawer.
Here she goes.
Whoa.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Robin.
I may duck. I don't know. You got a few things in the drawer, Jeannie.
I do have a few things in there. So that is real. That's a really good thing. On the weekends, sometimes I wake up early in the morning and just self-care.
Even if you have a partner, like, even if you have a partner, like, to take that time to yourself in the shower or whatever, to just like really get in tune with yourself and make yourself feel good and be aware that you have the power to make yourself feel good. Like when you put those intentions into that, like, I love masturbation and I have a partner and I love masturbation. It's so important.
Ladies tip, the shower head, you know, the one that comes off. It's a really good tool for self-care.
I just watched a Girlfriends episode about that.
Me too.
The shower head?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I wanted to add in that watching Girlfriends makes me miss y'all so much.
Listen, I may be on season 2, but I'm going to shut my mouth right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, because Brittany watches a whole 8-season freaking series in 2 days.
Listen, I was just watching it before we started recording. I don't know who my favorite character is.
This is exactly what I mean. I don't even have the heart to watch Girlfriends. I can't. I'm not going to put myself.
Me neither. Robin, I'm the same.
Girl, I love it.
Have plans, and then it's just me and my plans, which I'm killing all of them. Like, I can't even begin to tell you. I'm under a lot of stress. Dog. Like I have 7 plants, and 3 of them are dying, dog. And I can't. That's just about half. And I can't even tell y'all how upset I am, like that I'm killing my orchid because I am an idiot, and I am not even gonna tell y'all how dumb I am. But just know that I watered the orchid in like, and this is gonna sound insane, but I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but I watered the orchid for like 4 days in a bucket with of water and coconut oil on accident, and immediately my orchid started to die. And it has been so sad because my orchid has been in the same spot for 2 months, and I moved a pillow yesterday morning just like in my sleep. I slapped off every last flower that was even left on it, okay? Like, and I am over it. Gwen Stefani, dead. Like, done for. Then, like, this other really pretty one, I didn't even have the chance to name it before I killed it. I'm stressed out so bad. And you're only supposed to water them, like, once every 10 days. I watered them, like, 4 days ago. I come downstairs, my mom's like, I watered your plants. I'm like, why? She's like, they just look dry. I'm like, but you know it's supposed to be every 10 days. Like, why are you doing?
You need a chia pet.
You just need to start over.
You can't kill them.
First off, I'm more living than dying. So I'm still afloat here, okay? And I'm going to save the one that's kind of sick, so it's going to be 5. And I don't think the orchid is dead for real. Just give it a few.
It will rebloom because we had orchids at work, and it died a few times. No, it only died one time, but like it died slowly. Like all the flowers just slowly started to fall off. One of my coworkers like decided to punch it. I don't know, and then literally all the flowers started to fall off. So but it literally, they sent me a picture the other day that a new flower just bloomed. It died and it just starts to rebloom. So, you know, things die and keep giving it life.
They're seasonal. So I don't know if I accidentally watered it as soon as it was going like out of season, because part of it still looks like, it's just like a lot. And I'm under a lot of stress because my mom won't stop watering them. And I'm just, I'm like, they don't need it. She's like, it's hot outside. I'm like, they were outside at the fucking nursery. Like, it's okay.
It was okay.
So it's time for guests to send that text. The text reads, does anybody have anything bad to say or that I should know about this man? Because I know some of y'all know him. We just went on a date and I may just marry him. And there were several other comments after, but I won't get into that.
Oh, you know, that's just funny to me, because I think it's funny that we have to like check on niggas before, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you know I mean, that's kind of a good thing when you know your friends know him, but like, because niggas really do be having whole lives,
babies,
secret lives, second lives, all the above.
But then that like everybody's just so connected, like
the world is small.
And they're not like saying that we are so popping or nothing of the, but we know a lot of damn people, so it is so hard.
Yeah.
Listen,
I think that comes with like
today. It is so hard to just live in one world with goddamn like I'm still
I think that
literally
still a little confused, but we'll talk about that.
Going to college here, going to high school here, then still living here. I just feel like you end up knowing so many people, and then you have siblings that were younger than you that went to high school, and they might have gone to a different college, so now they have different friends, but they know you because of your brother, and it's just like, well, I'm speaking about my personal life, huh?
You also speaking about my sister life. She hated being the younger sister because she was watched 24/7. She went to FSU and she's like, why do people still call me your little sister? And I'm all the way in Tallahassee. I'm like, because behave.
That was fun for a while, like being Sydney's big sister, but I very quickly turned into I mean, it was fun where I had a little brother, but I very quickly turned into Sydney's sister.
Sydney's sister.
Like I have been.
My sister is still Jeannie's little sister.
That. And anytime somebody says Sydney's sister, right? I'm like, I was here first. That's my brother. But yeah. I don't like that.
But yeah, no, I don't either. And it's just like we really, I don't know if it's just South Florida is just that small,
it's
but
not.
I think it's
Florida.
Like it.
It's
Florida is that small.
I think it's every city. I think it's everywhere because people.
Is.
Atlanta.
New York.
Everybody says the same thing about wherever they live. Oh, it's so small and they know so many people and everybody is connected. But that's cool because I'm trying to go to another city and get connected that way.
Yeah, because I feel like that's where you're going to end up having to, like, I mean, not have to find your partner there, but it's just like, you know, the chances are somebody, you know, done did something with somebody. And it's just like, God damn, like, you know, it's just, we're it's a cesspool. That's what it boils down to. It's a cesspool.
But I mean, nice to be able to check in with your homegirls and get the Carfax.
Yeah, because the feedback after that question was good.
Yeah, it was. That's true.
But then the following date after
was trash.
The date was not okay.
Second date was not
the
like
second, yeah.
That I remember.
That's crazy. And that's another crazy thing. Like the I'm sorry, but like, you know, you can meet somebody the first time and then it's like, what is it? Is it that the first day everyone's showing their like best selves and then the second or third day everybody gets a little more comfortable and it's like, you actually really fucking suck.
Definitely. You're on your in the beginning. I said in the beginning, you're on your P's and Q's.
Yeah, but I feel like the beginning is still the second date. Shit, it's still the third date. Like I shouldn't like. I don't know. It should not be that comfortable that quick.
Well, at least you didn't have to wait until 10 dates to find that out.
That is actually I was literally just going to say that. I'm actually glad it happened that way, though, because that just, like, negated my need to waste more time on somebody that I'm going to work out with.
It was not going to go anywhere.
Yeah. That's a great way.
Okay, ladies. Well, good night. It's been real.
Did anybody watch that Patti
LaBelle?
LaBelle?
I had.